Okay, let's continue fixing our Space Invaders arcade 1-up. This time we're going to give it a riser. So that will be just a simple cube. So I have not attached anything here. So I'm going to select this objects right here and kind of move it up. Okay. Oh, except for the floor, of course. Gonna move this up a little bit. Ooh. Okay, did I disable? There you go. So I'm just gonna move this up a little bit for now, and then we'll take a look at what we need to change. Okay, so we're gonna get a cube for it. Okay, so I can probably group this, but it's quick enough to just kind of move it like that. So let me get a cube. All right, and our arcade is not centered because I've been kind of playing with it. All right, so let me just kind of go to the top right here and then just center our cube around that one. Again, we're basing it on the photo of the texture. So we might have to change our riser right here to kind of meet the spec of the cabinet itself. Again, this was just kind of added bonus videos, so it wasn't planned to begin with. So we're I don't own a riser for the unit, so I don't know if it's actually a cube or if it's actually rectangular like so. So let me just kind of go look with that, and then we'll take a look right here how that fits. All right, we'll lower this one so that we can kind of prepare. So what I did here, I just made this cube and then took out this top, so I have kind of sort of like an arcade environment. Added some area lights right here, yellow and blue, just to kind of contrast. I have to look at, used to play in arcades, but need to kind of revisit those images, what's in, you know, what kind of neon lights or what kind of lighting they have. They don't have much lighting in the arcades that I go to before. So just now, just so that we have some sort of kind of lighting for this, okay? Let me select everything here again. All right, and minus the floor. And I'm just gonna lower this down just so that we know how much of the riser needs to go up. All right, so there it is. On the side, it looks fine. Maybe just need to move it by a hair this way. And definitely we're scaling it on the front and back to kind of match the width of all the edge where it's going to sit. Maybe a little bit more. All right, that looks good right there. And then the bottom, I'm just going to go to edit mode, select the bottom right there, and then move it up until it's just kind of sitting on the all right. And let's see, let's take the top and lower that. I think that's how high it should be, or maybe a little higher, then we'll move the arcade. Okay, right there. And this is super simple to do. We just have that top face selected. I'm gonna press I for inset polygon, but before I do that, let me turn on my screencast here so you can see what I'm pressing. Press I, and then we're looking at the diameter, I mean the width right there. Need to be matching. All right, is it matching? A little bit on that side and on this side. All right, so I don't know if it's a custom fit where it actually goes in. I'm pretty sure it does. It probably needs to go a little bit fit. Let's see. Then we can just make those minor adjustments later. Okay. right there, and then we'll move this down, press E again. All right, and yeah, we'll just move this a little bit later to fit. And then for the front, we're gonna do because it has some sort of kind of like the graphic right here where it's kind of straight. Okay, I think I'm gonna go with that one right there. I did Control R and did all this multiple cuts. We only need this two sides right here, but I want it equal so I don't have to measure. So I rolled in the scroll of the wheel and I got 3 cuts. Okay, and what I'll do is I'm going to remove all these things that I don't need. So I'm going to Alt Shift click them right there, and then I'm going to press X and then dissolve edges. Don't delete the edge, you got to dissolve them so you don't get the remnants of the deletion. You don't get their points. Okay, so here I'm gonna select that, and then I'm just gonna want to flatten this, so I'm gonna do SX0 so I get a straight line. Same thing with this, Alt click it so it selected it all the way around. Okay, and then I'm gonna type in S to scale it, X along that axis, and then 0. I get a straight line. Okay, so now we just need to extrude the top, and then we get kind of like this little indentation right here, and then we lower the whole thing. Okay, so I'm gonna click on Alt, click this one. It's press number 3 first, go to face mode, select this, it goes all the way around. Yeah, I'm just gonna extrude this, go up a bit. Oh, sorry, do not include this part right here. This is not included. Okay, so let me click undo because I did the extrusion on that one. All right, so shift click, do not include that, press E. All right, so I think that high is fine. Okay, and then I'm gonna select the edge, those two right there, and then just kind of scale them going that way so it has that kind of opening. All right, so here I can go to my X-ray mode, go to 1, which is selecting all the points. I'm going to select all the points here, and I'm just going to move this down, turn off by that one so we could see, move this down until the arcade is just kind of sitting on top like so. And then this one where it's way too close right here, I will just go back to my X-ray right here, select all the points this side, just move that by a hair. All right, and that should be it. All right, should be good enough right there. So we just need to do the texturing and all that jazz. Okay, so it's going to inherit the same black right here. So material wise, we can just simply go down here, and then the black paint that we've been reusing, there it is. We do have to download the Arcade 1-Up logo, and this is the one I found on Bing, and we could just use this. I don't know if this is official with that kind of cupcake joystick, but we're going to include that. Okay, so you need to download this. Just type in Arcade 1-Up logo, that's it. All right, and if we take a look at that, this is what we're trying to kind of replicate right here. All right, so as you can see, those things will not be seen. It'll just, the arcade unit will just simply sit on top, so we don't have to include those. I can't find the graphics for Space Invader here, but you can definitely just find any graphics and you can put it using the technique I'm going to show you. Okay, so we have that. Let's go now to our shading right here. We need to add another one. We're just going to click plus. Okay, we need to add a new one, and we're going to apply it for this, right? So this part right here. So I'm going to select all the faces here. All right, and then we go to my UV editing. Then we'll go back here. Let me just set this up. All right, I press dot right there so that we could focus on this one. And then the unwrap for this, just press U to unwrap, project from view. We want it looking exactly like this. Okay. I'm gonna go to shading here. I mean, you can do shortcuts here where you can just go to a base color, but let's, you know, simplify stuff. So let's go to shading, okay? And then since that one is not applied yet, right, we do have the selection, right? So I'm gonna click on material here. I'm gonna assign it. You see it turn color to white. There's a yellow light beaming on this one, so that's why you see it yellow, but it's actually white. Okay, and then we're gonna drag the Arcade 1UP logo. Oops, sorry. Right here. There we go. And then I'm going to apply this to the roughness, so the shininess only. Okay, we only want to see it on the shininess. Thing is applied. Okay, we want to make sure. All right, and it's not showing anything in here because the color for this one is still the white one. So we're going to let's see. Actually, let me just redo this one. Let me click minus right here. So let me go object mode, get rid of that one. We just want to double this. We want another copy. Okay, so I want another copy of the black paint. I'm gonna click plus right here, get another black paint. Okay, but we'll make it unique. Okay, and we're gonna call this one Arcade 1UP logo. This is roughness. Okay, so rough. All right, so, and we're gonna apply this to this part right here, assign it. So now it's the same color, but we will use this PNG right here, which I can't grab. Drag it to roughness right there. Okay, and we're kind of seeing it right there. Okay, so let's go back to our UV, and let me project it again, because now that we added the graphics, it's kind of distorted this one. So U, project from view, there we go. So now it has the correct aspect, and just simply scale this until it fits right there. All right, okay, and we can actually make it bigger right here, so it's smaller in here. We just have to tell it in the shading right here not to repeat, but simply go just clip. Okay, so in case it's starting to expand. All right, so there's that. And now we need to tell Blender which part should be shiny and which part is not. So we need to add a middle person right here, which is a color ramp. So I'm going to go add, and then I'm going to go converter color ramp, and just drop it in here. It auto connects it to factor, then color to roughness. Okay, and I'm going to zoom in on this one so you see what I'm manipulating. We'll go to look dev here, which is preview, so it's a little bit easier. There we go. So that because if we go to this one, it's, you don't see the shininess because we haven't actually gave it value. All right, so this one's kind of like a preview. Okay, so all we have to do here is just move the slider darker a little bit to the right, and then move this all the way, the white one, all the way close to it until, there we go, cross it over. And let's see, I'm just trying to see how much of that should reflect. Okay, right there. So we just kind of reverse those. So what happened is everything that's same surface as this side turned to no shininess and only this part. So if I go in here, you can kind of see it right there. Okay, and then that's the only thing that's kind of shiny. And then we'll also add a bump map using the same color here, and we can just leave it as color map. Shift A vector bump, add the color to the height, this one to normal, which right here. All right, and then it gave it a little bump, too much actually, so I'm just going to invert that. Okay, and lower the power to 0, and then we're just gonna slightly bump it so we kind of get sort of like an emboss. Okay, and we're seeing some issues here with the noise and whatnot, but that should be fine. Okay, so there's that. So you kind of get kind of like an emboss, shiny logo. All right. Okay, so next is for upgrading this one, we want this part to be if you want it to be a lit marquee. Okay, so when you click on well, it's not actually lit, but let's try to make it light up without doing much work. Okay, so when I select this front face, if you go to our first lesson on the arcade series, this one is just the arcade graphic that we are using for all the other sides, other panels, right? So if I alter this, it will alter everything. So first thing is we want to make this unique just for the Space Invader marquee right here. So by clicking your new material, you basically, you got a new one now. So whatever I do with this, the other one shouldn't follow anymore, right? So here, let's say I make it non-rough. I mean, very rough, and you can see the other ones stayed the same with their shininess. This is the only one that becomes dull. Okay, so it's separate now. All right, so what we want to do here is simply change the principal BSDF that we're using and make it emission. Okay, and then we're going to apply the arcade panel, which is going to be interesting if I can find it. Oh, I can just click this and then copy this one, Command C, go back to this, Command V. All right, so that it's unique also, I'll make press number 3 right here, so it becomes its own fake user, so I don't mess with the other one. So it's not this one anymore, it's a new one, as if I brought it in. Bring that to color. Okay, and then with the emission strength, all right, there we go. So now it looks like we're giving it kind of like a lighting power. We probably have to kind of change its modeling now if we want it to be a lit marquee. It can't just be out here, it needs some sort of border. So let's do that real quick. So I'm going to go to Object first and apply the scale. By doing that, it knows the proportion now. So I'm going to tap to edit right here to go to edit mode. I'm going to go to face mode, select this face right here. I'm going to press I and then simply drag it in. And by doing that, I created some sort of like a border. Okay. And then I'm going to press E to extrude it back. Like so. So it looks like now it has a frame. All right. So what I'll do is I'm going to reverse my selection. I'm going to do Control I. It reverses selection, and I'm going to go to my black paint right here and simply assign all that. Okay, and then the top one right here for the yellow strip. All right, so there's that. So it has some sort of kind of this indentation, and then we can put more light to that one, so it looks like a lit marquee. Okay, and last one here is we want to make the screen animated. Okay, so right now if I go to my modeling right here, layout, where you have your timeline, right? And let me go here, and then when I press play, it should play. All right, and I changed my time to 2000 because it's a long graphic all the way to 2000 depending on what you want to see. All right, it just goes on like that, and it's static because remember from our previous lesson we use a static one. So I'll provide the link in the description where you could download the animated one, because I don't know if you can find it online. My friend Gary made it for me. So it's an animated movie of a Space Invader arcade startup. Okay, so let's go to our shading and let's click on, there we go. So it's the arcade LED screen from the previous lesson. So all we have to do is it's got its emission and whatnot, just simply change this one into that movie file. So I'm going to click open right here, It's going to ask where is that, so I think it's on downloads and Space Invader startup sequence MP4. All right, so the link will be provided so you can download it. So open image. There it is. As you can see, it changed now, and it is now an animation in a movie file right here. We want to make sure it's auto refresh right here, and then starting frame is 1 and total frames is, I think it's 2000 something. So I'm just going to put 2000 frames, so it will play it that long. Okay, so there it is. So now when I tap the space bar, there you go, it's starting, but something's wrong with our UV because the previous UV for this was used for the still image. Okay, so I want to go to my UV editing right now, and then here it is. It's way too wide, so I'm just going to scale it. So let's take a look at it here. We'll make it a little skinny until we kind of get that correct aspect by just kind of eyeballing it. It's probably good right there, and then I'm going to give it a little bit of a headroom and bottom room right there. Okay. All right, so now let's go to our layout right here. Go back to hit this one, and we have an animated, when you play it at least. So if you leave this in your animation just in the background doing nothing, you know, at least it looks like it's alive. You know, you got your lit up marquee, you got your riser, and that's it. Okay, so this should end the series for Arcade 1-Up. Hopefully we're not going to add anything more, so this will be part 3. Again, linked description for the download of this one. All right.